everyone, Amy Love here, and I am going to share with you today a page out of my art journal. So I decided I was going to use this beautiful Zen butterfly stamp, and I'm using some archival ink, and I'm stamping it on some tissue paper because I kind of like to use tissue paper on the base of my art journal to give it texture. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm not worried about even if they overlap or anything because you're just not going to see them in great detail. So I am using I'm right now using a piece of tape to put down the seam of my art journal because paint seeps through. I don't know if it's just this art journal or what, but it drives me crazy. So I always put a piece of masking tape to try to prevent that from happening. And now I am using my very old matte gel and water to apply the tissue paper. I just ripped it into pieces and I'm putting them, just here and there. But I kind of dip it into the old, very thick matte gel and then dip my brush with the matte gel into the water to kind of, I don't want to throw it away, even though it's old. If I can just add a little bit of water and it works, well, that's fine with me. So that's what I'm doing. I just want to put, a little bit of texture in the background. Now, sometimes I end up covering it up and you can't even see the stamped images, but, that the tissue paper definitely gives it some texture. So now I'm using some gesso, a little bit watered down gesso as a base layer over that tissue paper, but I'm using the water to make it a little more clear. And now I'm just going to start adding paint. I'm using turquoise and white and purple. And I'm kind of doing like a dry brush, and I've sped it up obviously, but I am doing it rather quickly because I kind of want to brush it on while all the paints are still wet so they kind of mush together, but I don't want them too wet because I'm not trying to make mud. So there's a fine line. So I am just adding them on little bits at a time, and then I am adding some water to my brush here and there to kind of smooth it out, to smooth out the texture. And this first layer I do is great, and you can still see the tissue behind it, but I wasn't completely satisfied with the texture of it. So I go in and I'm adding a second layer now. And really I'm just doing the same thing I did last time, but I'm just adding more paint this time. So it looks smoother is what I was really wanting. So it works out in the end, but you really cannot see now the printed tissue paper underneath. But the tissue paper itself does still give it some texture in the background. But I really love how this looks. These colors kind of blended together. So pretty. And of course I heat dry it dry. And now because you can't see that stamping in the back, I am using my chicken wire stamp and some gold ink to kind of give it a little bit of background texture. Now I'm going to use that same beautiful Zen butterfly and some archival ink, and I'm going to print it out onto some dictionary paper. And please excuse my sniffles. My allergies are just acting up today, but today's my day off and today is when I can do this voiceover. So we're just going to go with it. So after I get these all printed on here, I am going to fussy cut them out, which, fussy cutting is not always my favorite thing, but it's worth it in the end because these are super, super cute. So I won't bore you with all the details. I'm just going to cut this one out for you just to show you how I go around the antenna and stuff because I want the book paper to show. I mean, that's what's so cool about the dictionary paper. It's adorable. Now I am going to add them with my very thick and old matte gel, watered down just a tad. And I'm laying it down underneath the butterfly, and then I go over the top of the butterfly with it also. And now I am using my Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue. on some of the details on the butterfly. And then I'm going to use this beautiful Fairy Hugs glitter powder in this gorgeous, gorgeous blue, which I don't remember the name of it, but I have it linked below. And it's just so pretty. And now I'm using like a black Sharpie to kind of outline the butterfly, because when you outline it, it just kind of makes it pop a little bit more. And you will find a link below to all of the products that I'm using that are available at Lavinia World. So be sure and go check those out. And I also have a link to the Lavinia Facebook group. You should come join us over there. So many great things happening in there. And there's also a link to my personal YouTube channel. So please go check it out. Now I'm going to add, with this stencil, this Tim Holtz stencil, which is available at Lavinia World, and some, am I using my matte gel again? I might be. I think it is. And I am just putting it here and there, some dots. And then I am going to add more Fairy Hugs glitter powder, but not in the blue. I'm going to use, it's a white one that I don't remember the name of, but it's linked below. That's where you'll find the names, but it's just gorgeous. I am in love with Fairy Hugs glitter powder. It is one of my favorite things right now. A little obsessed with it. It just adds the right amount of sparkle. And I like for all the things to be sparkly. Gorgeous. Now I'm adding a little sentiment, and then I'm going to outline it also with the black Sharpie to make it stand out. And then I go ahead and I ink up all the edges with some black soot because it kind of makes the page pop. So I hope you enjoyed my little art journal today, and thank you all for watching. And please leave me a comment and give us a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, just leave them below, and I will see everybody on the next one.